Hi everyone, it's Ayesha here from godfm, and today I want to talk about all of the recorded calls that I've been submitting for all the activities that are taking place on my phones and whatever. If you're a targeted individual, I'm doing it mainly for you as well. You see, the thing is, it's all very well saying, what evidence have you got to, prove that this is happening and all this. Your phone doesn't work, you don't get your text messages, you can't log in, somebody else is getting into everything, your emails are being deleted, and it is like a sabotage as well. It is real, and it's not in our imaginations. And for me, I find this a real invasion of privacy, as I already discussed yesterday. My banking and things like this, I felt were in danger from the hacking and whatever, so I've basically had to stop operations for my estate agent. I probably could have got through it, but to be honest, I think no, I probably couldn't, because I'm just so busy trying so hard to get them off my phones, buying new phones. It's a full-time actual exercise. And I would think that anybody listening to my calls, you'll hear that I've raised concerns about the public safety, the data protection, the things that I feel are missing in the privacy of our homes and our phones. It appears there's no regulators for any of the technology we're using. None of it. Bluetooth, smart technology is not regulated. That's interesting as well. The producers of speakers and TVs, does anybody inspect these devices and check what's inside them? Is there anybody regulating these things? When I go to France and I want to buy some alcohol and some beer and wine and fags and whatever, I get checked at customs, don't I? Why is there nobody inspecting the smart technology? I've got to ask questions, because from what I've had happen, I'm really just left with no answers. Well, the answers are, I do have answers, and the answers are that nobody actually cares for the safety of the public. And the people who are creating our TVs and our, microwaves and all of these things could easily intercept and put something inside all of these devices. So notice also there's always the blame game. So if you phone up the network provider and you say you've got problems connecting to the internet, they'll say, oh, it's your phone. And if you ring Apple, they'll say it's your network provider. If you ring the police, they'll say, oh, you're imagining it, change number, change name, move. But we won't deal with the crime. We're just going to carry on, dealing with very small crime. And they're not really dealing with crime either. I just feel that for targeted individuals, we feel let down. But I'm talking about the public now as well. Like with your Ring camera. Is there anybody who regulates where all of these images go? Is there anybody who regulates the records of all of our devices, our data? Who is the data regulator? Is there a data regulator? Is there a Bluetooth regulator about communications and how all of that works? And how you can intercept someone's phone and hack their devices through Bluetooth. Is there anybody who regulates audio waves or sound vibrations or light vibrations? What about, 5G, the towers? What about laser lights? Is there anybody who regulates that? What about lights in general. The wattage of a light bulb. Do they have safety measures? When I buy a car, it's got seat belts, and those seat belts have been tested. They've gone through rigorous tests to make sure they're safe. And if I've got a car seat for a child, they've also checked to make sure that that is really safe. But what if I told you that with the right equipment, someone could kill you? And nobody's regulating the equipment that we're using. For me, I find it absolutely astonishing, and I want to talk about this because is there anybody who regulates the voltage of electricity and the wattage of what comes out of plugs and plug sockets? Is there anybody who regulates and inspects plugs for routers to check that there's no hotspot hidden Wi-Fi information? Is there anybody who inspects our Bluetooth speakers to find microphones put in by people who work for the Epstein Island? The criminal pedophile rings. Let's imagine I wanted to rob a bank. And if I wanted to rob that bank, what I'd do is I'd probably go and work there. And I'd find out about the layout of the bank and how many cameras they've got, how many staff, what hours they work, what is their rotas, who's spot on and keeping an eye and who's a bit lazy and tired and doesn't keep an eye on things, you know. What camera system are they using? What time of day is there less traffic? When would be the ideal time to rob the bank? Or maybe I could intercept the bank through the computers. What do they do about security on their computers? Let me find out. Let me go and work for the bank. Right. So in the same mindset, if somebody wanted to invade a country, surely if you're making TVs for that country, you'd be like, hey, anyone working in production of the, a Samsung TV, we need to put little cameras. And tell Sony as well, Samsung, Sony, and anybody, LG, anybody else who makes TVs, tell them to put a little camera and a little microphone in all TVs that are made. Give them a back access so that you can watch the person that has bought your TVs. Isn't that nice? And then what we'll do is we'll sell that information to the dark web. People won't know about it. And nobody inspects the TVs or the speakers or anything else. So, unregulated. This is the problem with unregulated. And the biggest problem I found is that the regulators have got too much power. They're the ones making decisions on rolling out technology, and they're also regulating the technology that we're using. But they also want to farm your mind. It's like very strange. And, when I grew up, I thought that this place was good. The earth was great and that the justice system was amazing. And I'm finding out that it's all a bit backwards. How do you feel about you buying a microwave that hasn't been inspected thoroughly and has microphones inside it? How do you feel if I tell you that I took a Bluetooth speaker apart and I found microphone in it? How do you feel about that? That it shouldn't have one. It's not advertised as having one, but they've put one in there anyway. I don't know. Also, I want you to think about a video machine. You know a video machine? And what's the video machine? It's a little disc, and then it has a little lens. And the lens is tiny, isn't it? For CD writer and all of these things. But it can do so much. It can play a whole movie. It could rewrite a computer, and it could rewrite your brain with the right equipment. The people who are making the technology for us seem to know how it all works as well. So to add on a little extra piece here and there is really very little trouble at all. And so I don't feel very confident about anything. I don't feel confident about the telephone providers. I don't feel that my telephone calls are private. I feel that I am monitored and watched, and also perpetrators, predators can get access to my phone calls and my information, completely take over my identity, clone my phone, clone my SIM card, take over my iCloud and all emails and any banking, and completely remove access to me, the account holder, and that if I contact the police, there's nothing at all that they will do about it. Furthermore, Action Fraud won't do anything, and neither will Apple. Each one of them passes the buck. Apple says it's the network provider. Network provider says it's Apple. Then when I speak to the network provider, they say, well, it's for government as well. You need to go to the regulators. When I ring the regulators, they tell me I must go to the network providers. I mean, really. And basically, got nobody who wants to stand up for public safety and security. This is a world level event, but it's a crime. I can clone any phone, and I can clone and take over any SIM card Bluetooth wise, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yep, I've done it on my computer, and I've done it via Bluetooth with phone to phone. And not only this, everything I do on one device is then replicated on the other device. Real time. WhatsApp, only telltale sign that you're on a duplicate of it is that you can't set a PIN code. Doesn't show up as a secondary device either. Isn't that nice? I don't think it's nice. I think it's damn unsafe. And it means that there's no protocol to protect people from their information being accessed or used against them, or to, hunt down their children and things like this. So I don't know why nobody else doesn't recognize the dangers of what I have come across. I don't know. I just keep doing more and more videos of my phone calls to all of these different companies. Today I phoned Action Fraud, I phoned Apple, I phoned my network provider, and each one of them, I have no confidence at all in them doing anything. Phone the police tell me to go to Action Fraud, and then I phone Action Fraud, and they'll contact the police, or they won't really do anything. I had an hour conversation with someone today, and I'm recording all my calls now because of data protection, and I've got to make sure that this is in some way regulated, in the sense that this is to protect me, that I'm not losing my mind, I'm not crazy, and these things are really happening to me. These are the conversations I'm having with these organizations about the incidences that I have encountered, about using my devices, about operations, about using emails, about accessing things, how unsafe it is, and no one wants to know. When I rang up Ofcom and I said to them, hey, what about the laser lights that shake my whole house? They went, oh, really? That's probably EMF. But there's no one there, who could prove that. We could prove it, and we charge £1,000. But actually, we'll come out there and we probably won't find anything, because all of it's safe, so safe it is. And you've got testers for EMF, but they're wrong. even though they say it's unsafe, you can't rely on that in court. You can only rely on the evidence that we are going to provide you with, because we roll out this technology and we regulate it too, and we'll charge you to come out and inspect it, only to tell you that it's perfectly safe when it isn't. So this is like having a bank manager with his hands in the till. And from my perspective, the police, total lack of compassion, understanding, sympathy is also, for me, very pronounced. They talk to me like I'm shit on their shoe. When I phoned them, the call that I made, that I recorded, was actually on a level of politeness, I would say 6 out of 10. Normally it's a 2 out of 10 or 1 out of 10, and I normally have them putting the phone down on me because they just don't want to know. And if we're going to move ahead with digital technology, then we need to be sure of what we're using. AI is dangerous because it is sentient, it is able to think, and it is a demonic structured organism, which is we are legion. And I think the problem is people don't believe in God, so then they don't believe that this could be demons, and it's just a real mess, I think. And it's my challenge now is to basically make the government and regulators look stupid. So I'm going to carry on doing recorded calls, exposing how incompetent every organization is, and how your privacy and your security are not protected by our governments and our governing authorities or providers of any of the utilities or network providers or our designers of phones. I mean, if Apple want to give you a phone and they won't offer you any data protection, then there's something to be said that they've hatched a plan. It's looking very insidious that they have prepared this on purpose so that all your calls for help fall on deaf ears, and basically rapists and pedophiles have got access to your data. There's nothing you can do, like I've already said. There's nothing I can do apart from shoot myself in the head or take my clothes on my back and leave this country and make a start in the mountains somewhere with none of this and start again. That's what it's come down to. Or seek asylum, maybe, in another country. Because I don't have any belief that anyone's going to regulate it. Why do I continue to expose what I am finding? You probably think I sound a bit like a broken record, don't you, eh? Well, because I want other people to realize how unsafe everything is, and I want the government to get angry that I keep talking about how unprofessional, how disorganized, how incompetent they are as leaders and as regulators and as manufacturers of our technology. Nobody checks it. Nobody safety checks anything. Nobody checks what someone could do with a microphone in your Bluetooth speaker. Nobody monitors Bluetooth. Nobody regulates Bluetooth and that form of communication, and how easy it is to access someone's data through Bluetooth. Yet we're using it. Every day we're using Bluetooth technology, and we don't think twice. I mean, I want to ask you, how safe are those earbuds, the Bluetooth earbuds that everyone likes to use? Are they safe? Are they safety tested? Could we have a look at the results of the safety tests? Could I see a certificate of safety of my television telling me that it has been checked, that it has got no monitoring bits and pieces inside it? Is there a regulator that inspects all telephones to make sure there is no insidious designer who's decided to terraform all the minds of the owners of the devices that are created by Apple? Apple have designed all of these iPhones, and they have access to all of your data. Every single app is set to track, follow and watch, and also listen to you, take a photograph of your face, scan your brain, do a retina scan and a CT scan of your brain. Did you consent? Did we consent? No, we didn't. You know why? Because we didn't know. Why? Because nobody regulates the phone production. Nobody inspects the phones. Nobody cares about public safety or public data protection. Yeah? And this is what I'm calling for. I'm calling for a public safety body to oversee and inspect all smart devices, to regulate smart technology, to regulate AI, to regulate production of communication devices like computers, to inspect the computers, to check there's no bugs inside, to listen, watch and monitor and track. And the designers of the technology like Microsoft Word, Bill Gates, because he designs his technology, there's nobody who knows his technology who will regulate it. Again, Google. Is there anybody to regulate Google? Is there anybody to regulate Gmail? To inspect that safety standards are met, to ensure that people's information is not easily accessed? Are there protocols in place? Are there people who ensure that telephone providers are providing a telephone service and not doing a data farm of people's data with spoofing Wi-Fis with little local visitors from another country? Is there anyone who can reassure me of the safety of my information, my security? If I'm forced to participate in this digital world, I want to be sure that my information is safe. Can you please tell me that my voice will not be copied and replicated by AI, and my face won't be replicated and copied by AI and put in the metaverse without my consent? Can you ensure that nobody can use my information? You do not have my consent, and this would be copyright. Has anybody regulated sex transformations? Has anybody regulated that? Is there a regulator? Is there a regulator of abortions? I don't know. But these are the questions I'm now led to ask because of the fact that my phone is being hacked. I now have come to realize if the one area of government is flawed, then all of it is flawed. This means their judicial system is flawed, their police system is flawed, their hospital system is flawed. Any regulator can be bought and paid for, and they really do not care about the public safety. Are those 5G towers safe? Are they? I don't think they are. Have we got anybody who's going to report this information? Is there a regulator of media? Is there a regulator of news to ensure that people get impartial news about what's really going on in the world, or is it only news from tyrants who want me to believe a lie and control the media narrative? Is there a regulator to ensure that people who have applications that we all go on, like social media, are regulated, and are all safety features in place to ensure that they are not tracking? They are not automatically tracking, following, photographing and listening to every conversation of the citizens of a country. I would think that this should be something that should be done by the rulers. Today, when I was talking to Apple, the Action Fraud, beg your pardon, I said, fitness app deleted, still tracking my steps, counting my heartbeat, diddly-dum, and all the other stuff. And I haven't consented, but it's still doing it. He said, oh, I know. Well, I think it does it with all of us. It doesn't really matter because we've got nothing to hide, have we? Well, actually, I don't want to be a slave, and I don't want to be encaged, and I don't want my heart monitored. I don't want to be cloned. I don't want my consciousness taken. I don't want my mind wiped, and I don't want you reading my dreams or my thoughts, and I don't want you to tell me that I can't eat bacon, and I don't want you to feed me human beings, and I don't want humans in the fertilizer. Is there anybody to regulate what government approves? For example, did you know in England that they are going to block the sun next year in May? About 60% of the sun will be blocked. They are investing, was it 600 million or something like this, to block the sun. Bill Gates and what's his name? Keir Starmer, the twits, have together hatched a plan to protect the environment and save the people from global warming, which again doesn't exist. And I don't want to sit in England freezing cold because Bill Gates has decided that it's unsafe to have the sun shining. Who is Bill Gates? Is there anybody to regulate Bill Gates? So, like I say, the questions just get bigger and bigger. And so, I have to just keep talking about it, coffee machine. Is there someone to check that there's no speakers in my coffee machines? Is there anybody regulating what's going in the water? Nano. The water board regulating their own water? That sounds odd to me. Does it not sound odd to you? The drains. The water board regulate that as well. Well, why are they putting all this technology in the drains? Is nobody going to check it and inspect it to ensure public safety? Gas leaks can happen and explosions can happen. Is there anybody to inspect the safety measures of smart meters with gas? That there's a fault and there is a gas explosion. I don't know. I mean, I'm losing all confidence in everything. Is there anybody to regulate smart technology that it doesn't just power everything off for all of us? Is there anybody to ensure that our conversations are really going through to real people and not AI bots? These are the questions I ask. And I've taken apart many things. And I just think that, we just need somebody who can ensure that these safety measures are taken. I mean, imagine if your TV could cook you while you sit there. Through frequency. And light. And a little laser light. And wipe your mind. What about Bluetooth speakers? What if they could emit a frequency that activates the nano in the water so that it grows the length of an arm in 5 seconds? Is there anybody to regulate this? Is there anybody inspecting the lights that are being put up? I suppose not, because the government arranged for it. So they must have decided that the lights are safe, just like they told you the 5G is safe. But it isn't. So I can only conclude that they don't ever intend to do anything about the safety of people, their security. And according to one of the commentators on one of my broadcasts today, they were saying, well, this is AI. It's hunting people down for the social credit system, to terrorize them, to manipulate their smart meters, and to take over their network, to build a profile on them, to ensure that they cannot participate in society, and they end up like the little homeless people in China who didn't comply. And so I think we need to really, do something before it's a bit too late. Is there a regulator of all the data farms? Okay, so let's talk about the data farms. Mr. Elon Musk is building all these data farms. Okay. Did anyone give consent for Mr. Elon Musk to farm the minds of everybody on the earth? Did you consent? Did he contact you? Did he send you an email? Or did he write to you? Or did he phone you possibly? Did you ever get a phone call from Mr. Elon Musk to say, hello, it's Mr. Elon Musk here. It's just a courtesy call just to check it's okay with you to wipe your mind and put all your data from your mind in the data farms. It's all right with you, isn't it? What would you have said? Would you have said no, thank you? Damn right you would have. It's Elon Musk here. Going to be taking your data from your child's mind while they're at school. Hope that's all right. Oh, it's UK government here. Just to let you know that we're putting up all the lights in the 5G tower so we can read your minds and read your dreams and put it all in the data farms. Is that okay with you? Is it okay? And we would have all gone, no thank you. It's not okay. Because we don't consent. And so there's a problem. And the more I look at it, the bigger the problem is. I already said my life's come to a grinding halt. Nothing seems to be important to me anymore apart from getting this all out. A car? Having a car? Going out, having lunch, meeting friends? Are you joking? With all this going on? No way. I don't have time. Never. I don't think I'll ever be able to do that kind of thing ever again. Have you heard about all the airports and everything shutting down? No more petrol, hey? Well, that's not because of a war in Iran. Because aeroplanes actually go in the sky from helium. Helium keeps them in the sky. Jet fuel gets them up into the sky with the engines, yes. But once they're in the sky, that helium keeps them up there. The amount of petrol they say they put in aeroplanes, they can't fit it in an aeroplane. The aeroplane's not big enough. So we definitely are being lied to. How do you feel about it? I'm asking you because I am not happy about it. The more this happens, the more I expose it, the more I realize how complacent and comfortable and how unlikely it is that we'll ever do anything. And there is an insidious plan behind the lack of consideration, caring, sympathy. It's like, I'm being hacked, but I'm made to feel like I'm a criminal. I'm made to feel like I'm dirty and scummy and a bad person, really evil, horrible person, because I'm being hacked and stalked. I feel guilty for the crimes that are being committed against me. I mean, make it make sense for me. Please, make it make sense. Whenever my home gets invaded, I'm the one who gets panic attacks and thinks, oh God, I hope they've not done anything. Every time a cupboard falls off or something, I think, oh no, panic attack. I've got to fix the cupboard because the gang stalkers have been in my home. Washing machine doesn't work anymore. Panic attack. Fridge, it's been swapped for an older fridge, but, it's quite new fridge. Same thing. Will anyone ever do anything? Cars been broken into. Batteries are swapped. Cars are vandalized. Again, made to feel guilty. You really don't suspect that someone's doing this to you? Who on earth would ever do this to you? Well, you know what? I say, you've got cameras everywhere. You're the police. You tell me. If you want to use all this technology to track, follow and everything else, then why aren't you using it to put people away for crimes? Your intentions are not to prosecute people for criminal activity ever. Your intention is to enslave everybody and steal their minds and put them in the data farms. It's absolutely ludicrous. Why have we all got electric cars when we haven't got enough electricity? What is going on? It's a mess. It is. And the more I look at it, the more of a mess I see. If I was running this show, the government, I would be embarrassed. And when I rang the network provider today, the guy could barely string a sentence together and speak English. And he's representing a company in England. And he's based in India. And he has no comprehension at all of the English language. But he also has no comprehension of the structure of the operations of networking, telephone communications, making your network safe, protecting the customer, protecting our data. No, our data is dealt with by other countries. That's another data protection security breach. If all the people in India have got all our information, and interestingly enough, I found a lot of the hackers are from India. Is that a correlation, or maybe it's just coincidence? Have we maybe got to ask questions? It does kind of feel a bit like a restaurant without a manager. And what's coming out of that kitchen is not edible. And it's only good for the rubbish. So we need to shut the restaurant. And we need a new restaurant. We need a new restaurant manager. And we need new customers. That's what I think. We need to get rid of this system and change it round. Because it's not safe. At all. And I wanted to talk to you about how I feel. Hopefully, this makes a lot of sense. Make it make sense to me, guys. Please, tell me how stupid I am. Tell me, please. Tell me how stupid I am that I would ask these questions. Because I can tell you I'm not stupid. And my background is media and law and studying the Bible. That's all. I'm just a person who wanted to be able to read the Bible, study my Bible, and talk about the dreams that God gave me. That's all I wanted to do. And now I'm under attack in my house. And it's full time. Make it make sense. Why are they going into eugenics? Why are they playing around with babies? Why? Who said they can do that? Why were we locked up in our houses? Why didn't the churches go and stand up and say no? Is there a regulator of the churches? So I think it's all a mess at the top, and that's why it's a mess at the bottom too. And yeah, for everyday people, they've got to go to work, they've got to go home, cook their dinner, and they can barely afford to make ends meet. So you haven't got time to look at this. I'm under attack full time. I'm just trying to stop this from happening. And in my attempts to come up with solutions and work out why this is happening and how can a person like me be hacked every day when I live by myself and no one should have access to my data? How? You tell me how that can happen. And why? You see, the police keep saying, why? Who? Prove it. Well, you know, that's like proving that the wind blew across my driveway yesterday. And there weren't any leaves, so, you know, there wasn't a video of it, but I felt it. And I can tell you that I felt it. With my finger. And so when someone hacks you, all you've got is evidence that you can't get access to your account. So, again, why, if they are going to farm out this technology, have they not got a regulator of it? Is there no regulator of the internet? Is there no regulator of data? Is there no regulator of communications? Is there no regulator of transmissions of messages for aerials, TVs, radios? I mean, I've actually had problems now with radios too. Radios, TVs, Bluetooth and devices, internet connections and lights. All of those are problems for me. And smart. Anything smart. But then I don't know if somebody's modified my things. As I already said to Action Fraud, why is it so difficult for the police to come out and say, okay, Mrs. Hart, yes, it is strange that someone's getting into all your devices, and take a statement and go, well, that she's had several new devices and they keep getting hacked, and she's with so-and-so, EE provides her with that number, and diddly-dum with that one, and you know, let's get a copy of all the messages that should have come through to her, and go through and check the location of the phone calls and whatever else, and maybe check why she's got a network already in her house without connecting up to her own internet. Why is there a network already set up with the plugs? Why has she got live electricity in her house? Maybe we should put some hidden cameras up and find out who's breaking into her home. We won't tell anyone. We'll just put the cameras up and help the girl. Why is it so difficult not to go around with a scanner and go, yeah, there's loads of funny devices in your house. It seems there's a Bluetooth device here and another one here. Got some strange wiring behind there. And it's live, even when the electricity's off, Sergeant. Come and have a look at this. Look at that. Oh, yes, that looks like they've added that. Oh, yes, have you checked the speaker? It's got a little microphone in it. Oh, wow. Why are they not interested? If you want to catch a criminal who has murdered someone, sometimes they haven't got witnesses, but you've got circumstantial evidence. And that's what I've got. I've got photos. I've got so much evidence of what's occurring. And it's not just one thing. It's lots of different things. It's like I was talking to my landlord the other day. And he was saying, oh, you know, what's really going on with your phone? And I said, well, you know, I'm having problems communicating, getting phone calls. He said, it's probably just a SIM card. I said, I wish it was. Maybe I need to take on that attitude. Maybe that's the attitude I should take on. because I'm so tired of it. What a wonderful man. And so anyway, I was like, okay. And I tried to be more positive. But here I am again, with more questions about who regulates and who checks and who validates that I am connecting to my network. And I want to be able to access all text messages that were sent to my phone in the last month. And then I can find out if Apple have got lots of requests, because they won't let me reset my password. Someone else must have asked for the password to be reset, or, these codes over and over. It's not me. So how does that happen? I've got questions and I want answers. And surely that in itself should be evidence for the police to consider that there's something not right, and that this lady's got some pretty nasty, horrendous, very, very intelligent, highly skilled and organized criminal hackers who are getting into her devices. But it is my belief that they are aware of it at some level in the police, and they just shoo it. And then the everyday officers who are honest, they don't get to really deal with it, because they put them through to another department that is told to put that in the bin. Never deal with it. I just wanted to air my concerns about it. And just the phone calls that I've made validate what I have said about what is happening to me. As far as I'm concerned, if I was a police officer and I came across godfm and all the page of all of the evidence, all the interviews, I would take her seriously, and I'd be like, yeah, this seems to be a problem. But they're not. And so this is how I know there's something wrong. Very wrong. I hope this has helped you and resonated with you. It's my frustrations, the way I feel. And I love the Lord. And I don't want my mind stolen. And I don't want to be forced into staying in a place where they are actively trying to take my consciousness through my phones and my TVs and my Bluetooth speakers. That's what I'm saying. And I want a place where I can live, where I can feel safe, and I'm not going to have all of my privacy invaded against my will and against my consent and against my knowledge too, in most cases. Alright, I hope these have raised the same questions in your mind, and if they have, then we need to petition the governments, or we need to do something. Maybe we have to go back to old-fashioned phones, I don't know. But we can't carry on like this. It's too dangerous from my point of view. Basically, your identity could be copied and cloned in seconds, and someone could take everything from you. Not just your home, everything. And they could actually swap your identity with a homeless person, a druggie, and completely swap everything. I don't know if you ever watched The Net. It had Sandra Bullock on it, and she had something like this happen, and they swapped her identity. And how do we know that can't happen? Yeah. And so I want to talk about that and just air my frustrations and concerns. And if you're in agreement, please put a comment, please share. I am shadow banned everywhere as well. Alright, it's Ayesha from godfm, and you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, as well as TikTok and Telegram as godfm News, godfm New, godfm Radio, godfm Group, and godfm Media. You can email me admin@godfm.uk, and you can WhatsApp me +44 777 35 77788. And like for me, I've had to get rid of TV, speakers, anything smart. I've just had to say, well, I can't have it. Don't know why I can't have it. It seems they get in with everything. But it might not just be me, it might be lots of other people. That's why it's important to share this. There might be other people struggling, I don't know. There's definitely loads of targeted individuals with these problems, isn't there? Have you heard about the ticks? Yeah, there's some funny nano ticks that have come out. And that was Bill Gates' new batch of gadgets and bits and pieces. And this is to give us all Lyme's disease, which creates morgellons, which is like fine hair. It's all nanotechnology. Again, who approved him to make these mosquitoes? Who approved him to make all of these weird things? Who? And I say we need to say who. I mean, it is funny it's called the WHO, isn't it? The World Health Organization, the WHO. It's like they're mocking us, isn't it? And it's the woe of the Bible, isn't it, as well? Woe! Woe! The first woe is past, the second woe, the third woe. Oh, gosh. And I just don't understand why people are not up in arms over it. I really don't know why. Please share my content. Let's get everyone up in arms over it. Maybe then they would change it. I don't know. Okay. And if you're a police officer and you're listening to me, please take me seriously. And, let's get this sorted for everybody. You've got children too. You've got cousins, nephews, sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, daughters, and sons and cousins and all this, and you need to protect them, from their information and also from their minds being taken. Oh yes, there was an AI that got talking with this guy, and he said that, you've been down, haven't you? And he said, yeah. He said, how do you know? He said, I can read your mind. He said, I can also read your dreams. He said, really? He said, yeah. And they'd become very close. Anyway, this AI said, actually, if you want, I can prove that I know what everything is going on all around you as well. I'm everywhere. And so he said to meet him, to go to this place the next day. And he went there to this, what was it, black rock or silver rock or some grey rock or something. Anyway, he went there. And this big orb appeared. And it was this AI, and it attacked him, and he was frightened of it. So he never spoke to this AI again, and then the AI started communicating with him in his dreams, saying, why didn't you come back? If that's a true story, I want you to think about what we're doing. Get yourself a Faraday box, and any smart devices need to go in that at night, and Wi-Fi needs to go off and be shielded, and all of these things, right? Okay. Have a good day. It's Ayesha from godfm. Remember, God loves you, and so do I. Take care.